I pulled up all the sell-offs that happened for the Dow Jones Industrial Average over the last 100 years on macro trends. And it turns out the ones that I've identified, there's 20 of them. So that's an average of every 5 years we had a crash. The biggest one here is 85%. We didn't reach the bottom until 05/1932. As you can see at the third one all the way to the left. And that was the crash of 1929. Now, most of these seem to be over 25%, but I wanted to take a closer look, and I wanted to remove the crash of 1929 and just look at all the rest. So you can see, not including the 85% sell-off from 1929, the largest we've had was about 50% from 2009 was when we reached the bottom in February. And on average, it's been staying, for these, most of them are above 20%, with the exception of 4 of these 19. So I just wanted to kind of overview all the different sell-offs. Most people just think of the ones that happened in recent times, like the housing crash, the Corona sell-off, the dot-com bubble, and people always remember the one in 1929. But there's been a lot of them. And it looks like from the top to the bottom, at the very least, it gets about 20%. But if you're including the crash in 1929, we averaged a 36% drop over all of the 20 crashes. Now, if you just include the crash, these 19 crashes, it's a drop of 32%. But that's the average. So I think it helps to put this into context and just see all of them listed out like this. And I did make a little line chart to give some extra information. Now, it doesn't show every date, but it does give you an idea of like the trend that's been taken. And you can see kind of in the center, 25-30 seems to be around the average over these 19 sell-offs. But it can give you an idea of like when a future sell-off happens, you have a range to work with. So of these 19, it's been an average of 32% drop. And we've been getting about, over these 20, as I was saying earlier, it averages out to a crash over every 5 years. Now, it might happen that it crashes 1 year and like 2 years later it crashes again. Now, that has happened in this chart. You can see in 1960, that was the bottom, and then in 1962, we had another bottom. So 1957, 1960, and 1962, it was sell-off after sell-off after sell-off. So that's not exactly the average, but that kind of brought the timeline down to 5 years. But typically people say crashes happen every 7 years. And it's in that range, but these are the 20 that I've identified. And I think this might be helpful in kind of guiding your buying strategy to be able to see what's happened over the last 100 years. All right, thank you.